right. What kind of questions do we have? Go ahead.
Right, this is kind of like a class question. So you know our optional like lab work.
Mm-hmm.
So do we get points off if it's optional? Because on my like grade it says it took points off from not doing it.
How do you know it took points off?
It says 0 out of 10. Basically.
So it didn't. You don't have no idea if it took points off, though, do you?
But it's like 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it say like something else?
Nope. So, okay, so here's a question. The question is, with the optional lab work, which I explained before, with the optional lab work, the question is, does it affect your grade? So what I said before was this. I tell Canvas to drop, right now, 3 lowest lab work grades. Okay? So, are you going to still see your 0 out of 10? Yes. But is it counted towards your average? No. So if you want to know your average, right? So if I look at, if I go to your grades, let me look at the lab work really quick here. So lab work 1 was excused, right? So you got, actually, no, I gave you guys all 100%. So you have 2, 3, so you had 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 12, 13. Right? So that's 8 lab works. So if you took your best 8 lab work grades, add them up, divide by 8, it should be your lab work average. You're still going to see the zeros because I told Canvas to drop your 3 lowest lab work grades. So if you got 100, it would take one of the lower ones and drop it. If you got a 0, it would just drop that. So that's what you should see. Okay? No problem. I understand the concern. Next question. Yes? Uh-huh. So question 4, all it's asking for is this. So remember how we had that. When we had that, what did we have to find? A new C. So the question 4 is asking for you to find that, and then what the factoring will be. Mm-hmm. Well, because there's no OC anymore, right? So essentially, what are we doing since it's looking for a new C, right? So we're going to apply that, which is b divided by 2 squared, right? Which we should be adding to both sides, but there's no other side. And it wants to know, it wants me to factor the trinomial, and therefore I factor the trinomial and it's a perfect square. Done. That's a pretty short what we know. Yeah, makes sense. Any other questions? Wow, we're going to have a really short class, huh? What about question 2? If you're saying writing the solution, this something like this would be fine. Is that what you're asking? Huh? This is 2. It's not asking for 2 separate solutions, is it?
I believe she, is it okay to leave it in that format, or do you have to read the format of it being plus and the format being minus?
So what I said last class was that if it asks for 2 solutions, you would put that down. For me, this is fine. The reason why I put this down is because your other homework assignment is going to ask you for 2. That's the only reason why I did that. If not, I would have just told you that's good. But I didn't want to end here and for you guys to go, wait a minute, where's the 2 solutions? Next question. Any other questions on lab work 14? Any questions on the review? How many questions are on the final exam, guys? Why does everybody else know? How do you guys know that there's 40? Which ones? Oh. So the optional lab works are your review for the final exam. Yep, that's it.
So are you gonna put it, I think you're asking, are you gonna put it like in a quiz form, or
No,
we're just gonna go back?
no, that's it. Just the paper. The 70 questions is absolutely useless, besides reminding you that, hey, remember you learned this? Oh yeah, that's right, I did learn this. Oh crap, I forgot about this. I better go back and look. That's all the 70 questions is good for. The 4 optional lab work would be your best review, like review 1, review 2, review 3, review 4. Which, since each one is 10 questions, that's why your final exam is 40. The part that you got to be concerned about is that you have an hour and 50 minutes. Instead of an hour and 45 minutes. To do 40 questions rather than 25 questions. That's where your concern needs to be. College algebra is a little bit different because their class is only 80 minutes, but they're also going to get the hour and 50 minutes to do their 40 questions. So they're getting a lot more time for their 40 questions, where you guys are getting not a lot of extra time for 15 extra questions.
Okay, I have a quick question.
Yes?
Is algebra college is easier than MGF?
No. It's way harder. MGF 1130 is I don't know how to say it. One doesn't build upon the other. It's random subjects that you learn. Depending on what you want. What do you want to major in?
Nursing.
Then I would go college algebra. Because ASN right now is recommending college algebra. BSN is recommending, well, no, BSN requires statistics.
Yeah, but if you want to do BSN, you need to take psychology. There's like 3 different things that you need to take.
You got to also take statistics. Math-wise, you got to take statistics. ASN, they recommend for you to take the college algebra. And the reason why they recommend to take the college algebra is because of the rigor of the subject matter. To me, MGF 1130 and 1131 is, to me, is equal to this class, but easier. But you read what?
I already registered for like the MGF.
Okay. Well, I would ask your advisor this question. If you take the MGF 1130, are you still at the same level? Meaning, when you guys take classes, so let's say you take Comp 101. Next is Comp 102. So let's say there is in our comp class, they cost something else, but it's the same level as Comp 101. Are you really getting any better? Is that fair to say? So that's where I am with MGF. So MGF was created for non-STEM majors that is trying to get their math credits. So for example, statistics, you either need this class, 1033, or MGF. So that this way, if they're non-STEM majors, they can go MGF and get the stats, or take this and then go to stats. Mm-hmm. So if I were you and you're going for your BSN, I would go to stats. I don't think MGF is going to help you.
But it's going to help you to get in.
This class is going to help you get in.
No, because they changed it.
No. This class will get you into stats.
I was talking about like nursing-wise.
Yes. So, people at home, I'm sorry that you're not seeing this. People here are going to. So if you guys go into your college catalog, there is a college catalog for this year. And if you go into, I won't do program of study. On the left side, if you do course description, and prefix is stats, STA, and just hit filter, you'll just probably see one class. If I click on that, it says prerequisites. MAT 1100, we don't teach it. MAT 1033, this class, or MGF 1130, that's, I don't even know what that class is, with a C or better. You could take college algebra, or you would see it better. But again, to me, it's like you're going in the same level to get to stats.
So, next year, what class do you recommend? Like, or can we just take next year?
Depending on what you want to major in.
Well, I'm gonna nursing, so I guess dermatology is more like, you don't really need a nursing license because I want to do more on the aesthetic side, like the Botox fillers. But I think I do still need statistics. So next, what would you recommend?
So here is, okay, so the only reason why I feel like I can speak about this is because as a college coach, I had to kind of guide my players through their major as well. They still had an advisor, but they still came to me a lot. To me, what I would say to you is this. Where do you want to go to school after this? Okay, so I would go to FGCU's website, look up dermatology, and look at what they require for math. right? Like for example, for you, let's say you want to do your ASN here and you want to do your BSN somewhere else. I don't know why you would, but since they offer it here, it's way cheaper anyways. Then I would go to that college's website and say, okay, what do they require? Yeah, it makes more sense because, like I said, it's way cheaper. But if you want to go dermatology, that's what I would do. So any of you guys that say, hey, after FSW, I want to go to FSU, you know, whatever, right? I would go to their website and say, what do they require? Look at their program list. Just like the checklist that the advisor gives you, they should have one on their website as well for that program of study. Scroll through and saying, because you might find out that they're going to require college algebra. Then you might say, okay, that made up my mind. I'm going college algebra. I'm not going to go stats, right? If it requires stats and college algebra, let's say, then I would tell you, stay with the algebra track until you get the algebra track done, and then go to your stats, right? So for example, the girl that started in this class was going to be a psychology major, right? And realized that, oh my goodness, I actually know how to do math. In fact, in college algebra, people asked her for help. She's like, I don't, why are you talking to me then? If you need help, it's not me. No, they're like, no, we're talking to you, because you clearly, however you're studying is working, and clearly you understand this. And now she's in Calc 1. She doesn't know if she wants to go to Calc 2. She might be taking statistics. She's scared because she's like, oh crap, I'm kind of taking it down a level. Am I going to understand this? You know, but stats is a totally different class. So that's what I would tell you to do. So if anything, for me, I do believe that college algebra gives you the rigor that you need for a lot of these majors. That's what I feel, okay? And I know I'm tough. I know I'm a stickler about a lot of things. But to me, it is me kind of giving you tough love. And down the road, you're going to be like, thank goodness for that tough love. Because I see a lot of prima donnas here right now. Right? Just like when I was going through school for teaching, I saw teachers that shouldn't be teachers. Right? I see a lot of them. Am I tough? Are you going to hate me sometimes? Certainly. I have to accept that. If I can't accept that, then I shouldn't be a teacher. If you love me all the time, I'm doing something wrong. Right? If everybody's just like, and they're getting an A, I'm doing something wrong. Now, if everybody's failing, I'm also doing something wrong. Right? So if I'm always loved, I'm always hated, I'm doing something wrong. I'm going to be loved sometimes, I'm going to be hated sometimes. It is what it is. Right? I know that when I get my SOS back, I know there's going to be some great comments. There's going to be some negative comments. I have to accept that. Right? So, but when you ask for guidance, I'm not going to sit there and lie to you. Right? And say something to you that is false. Right? So if your advisor says something to you like, you need MGF in order to get the stats, and you say that to me, I'm going to say, I'm telling you it's not right.
No, she said that to get into nursing. Not that.
MGF? No. Not needed.
Because I spoke with her, when was it? Like 2 days ago? She said I can either do NGF or college algebra to get into nursing. It's like all of them are telling you different things.
Let me go in the program of study here.
They had a meeting last month. And the only thing that I'm missing is the math.
BS in nursing. All right. That says admission requirement, yes? Nothing says MGF. Am I right? Unless you mean BSc, right? Man, you're a good student. Additional lower level requirements. Still no MGF. Upper level is all nursing, but you see stats. That's all I see. The only reason why I know that ASN was recommending college algebra is only because, yeah, see? The only reason why I know is because I clean my dishes in the nursing department. I warm everything up in the nursing department, so I always talk to them. And that's the one that they brought up to me. They're like, this is going to be good news, right? I'm like, what? They're like, we're going to recommend college algebra for ASN. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I go, if you want, because their complaint is also rigor. Huh? Yes. It changes like almost every single year. Good news is that most likely once you're in, you're supposed to be grandfathered in. So hopefully that's the case.
But do you think I can get in without doing that math yet?
Without MGF? Yeah. If you really want to, there is an advisor in nursing. Right? There is an advisor in nursing. And just say, hey, this is what my advisor told me. Is this true? And that will clear it up. That will totally clear it up. When you walk in, turn right. You can only turn right. I think she's like 3 or 4 doors down on the right-hand side. Huh? Right here. She's right in here. So when you walk down the hallway, you see the bathroom, the elevator, and then you'll see nursing department. Yep. Go in and ask and say, hey, is this true? I'm going to guess they'll probably say, no, but if you can take both of those, that'd be great. But that's only recommended for college algebra, but, well, hopefully she doesn't sound that way. With this rough voice. So, any other questions? Yes? No, I don't believe it's hard. If you did the work, what you did this semester, 3 of those exams are going to be pretty much review. So anything you've done here is going to be packed into those 3 exams. The 4th exam, everything is brand new. So you guys are going to freak out, and you guys are going to figure out. You know how like in here I gave you guys steps. Here's step 1, here's step 2, here's step, right? In that 4th exam, steps goes away. And I tell you guys that you now have free will. So I give you a list of properties and rules and laws, and you see a problem, and now you have to go, which one do I apply? And it's funny because people start to freak out because beforehand it's like, why there's all these steps? Why can't I do it my way? And when I say, you got free will, do it your way, and you're like, no, please, give me steps. What do I do now? It's just like, which one do you want? You can't like pick and choose, right? So that's where college algebra comes into play. Yeah. But I mean, even when I put down steps here, there's a lot of things that we start to forget, right? Like even here, dividing fractions, right? We need a refresher on. Adding, subtracting fractions, we kind of need a refresher on, right? So it's like those things. So if you already put in the rigor for this class, you're good in college algebra. If you kind of schlep through this class, college algebra is going to be tough. Next question. Here's the thing, is that there's no sense on me keeping knowledge to myself. If you have knowledge to share, I would love to hear it as well. Right.
You ask us like any more questions as much as three of my teachers ask.
Together. Combined.
That's your sentence of the day.
My volleyball players, my statement of the year for them has always been, and the question becomes, because that's what I did on the volleyball court a lot. And the question becomes, and I'll give them a scenario. Yeah. I catch myself and I kind of chuckle inside because because they'll do a skit imitating their coaches, and that will be where they come in. Yeah.
Now you use most of them. And what she means to ask is.
Because I don't want to sit there and going, wrong question. So I might as well twist your words so that you look smarter. Even smarter. Or twist your saying so that you actually have the right answer.
Do you teach any other math classes?
Yes.
This one?
And pre-calc.
So those three?
Yes. I'm hoping not to ever teach statistics again. And I'm forced to teach MGF 1130 this summer. I'm just saying you're welcome to ask the question because I feel like I'm 90% correct. That is not required whatsoever. Anybody else have other program questions?
So does this count as a general education for math, or is it more complex class?
It'll be more. That's a tougher question. That's a very tough question. I remember seeing this before. Shoot, where did I see this? Come on, where are you? It's not admissions. It's not non-discrimination. So this is under um, this is under programs of study, and then the general education program guideline. So here, mathematics. So these are the core. Notice that stats is in there as well. So this doesn't really count towards graduation. So it might end up being like an elective, I'm going to guess.
I'm mostly asking if they're prerequisite to apply to the ASN program.
Mm-hmm.
Core math after 2025.
So the core math would be, that's recommended, is going to be the,
Yeah, according to this, it's either statistics or college algebra. College algebra does this class.
yeah. And like I said, the ASN is going to recommend that part. Oh, okay. I see what you did, bud. Where the BSN is going to be stats. So if you go ASN and then go BSN, you're probably going to need to go back to stats as well. All right. But again, I would tell you to go college algebra and then go to stats so that your mind is still on algebra. Instead of going to stats, take that semester off of algebra and then coming back into algebra. So that would be my recommendation. Any other question on programs or questions about the review? That's going to come up on Tuesday. That's Tuesday. Tuesday. I mean Monday.
You teach MAC 1105, right?
Yep. I'm teaching it. I'm teaching intermediate. This summer, I'm teaching intermediate college algebra, MGF 1130, and pre-calc. I'm teaching all of those this summer, as long as they fill. If they don't fill, they'll probably drop it. If you guys bought me a vacation, I wouldn't know what to do on a vacation. I've never been on a vacation. Never.
You don't like traveling? You look like a person that likes traveling.
I like traveling. When I was recruiting, I traveled a lot. But it would be like a weekend. That would be about it. You're going to be an expensive wife.
No, I'm not. I swear. You should see my friends.
Oh yeah, there's expensive wives and there's broke husband wives. There's a difference there, right? It was under degree of study and then the first link. Did you find degree of study?
No, I typed the catalog, the college.
Look for degree of study. Do you know any classes you would recommend to take during the summer? Math-wise, like I said, this is my schedule. If that's if you want to take me again. But here's my summer schedule. But in terms of any other class outside of math, I'm out of it. I don't know what like other people would teach. I think it all depends on like your program and what you need. But I would definitely search because you might be looking for something that might not be taught in the summer, right? But this is what I'm teaching in the summer. So, like I said, for you guys, the college algebra, the 1130 are probably the only two, but like I said, I view 1130 as even with this class. And since it's, I mean, it is a core. So if you're not a nursing major or you're not a STEM major, then maybe that would be your way into getting a core math to graduate. Should I do all my notes in the black screen? No. Okay. Good to know. Did you want to think about it? No. I'm like, okay. Good to talk. Good talk. So no question on our review. Did you find it?
I clicked something different just because I couldn't find the environment when I click on the, I just wanted to click.
That's degree acceleration. Degree of study. Program of study, sorry, my bad. Now, the very first link. Now you see what's a core, what's not. In all of them. So in math, what the core is. In humanities, what the cores are, right? Because depending on where you test into, you might be test below where you got to take a couple. So like for example, math, if you, let's say you test really low, then you might be in MAT 0057. So they'll have to take 0057, then take intermediate algebra, and then get into a core. Yeah. Yeah. So they'll be wasting like a semester or two on math before they get to a core. So no other questions, that's it? Meaning that we did not look at the review. So the day that I can answer any questions on the review, we decide not to do the review. Yes. CJ's like, yep, that's right. That's exactly what we did. I know you guys are going to try to do the best you guys can on the test. I know that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For that, I already know. I'll just pretend to ask you to ask this time. So I can like impress
No,
you every time you've asked.
the way you started off that sentence, I was thinking that I'm going to be prepared. I'm just going to walk straight up and start talking. You're just going to come up and say, give me that pencil. Let's go. I'm like, okay, got it. That's the way you started that sentence. That's the way I took it. That you were just going to come up and you're going to just start teaching. Okay, fair enough. Okay, I like it. Anybody else? So that's it? No question on the lab work? We're good? And then next week's lab work is another optional. So last of your 10 questions for your final exam. Yep. Did we do our SOS? Well, you did it before I even talked about it. Were you angry when you did it? Because if you were angry when you did it, then I might have really bad comments. This son of a... Were you doing your lab work while you're doing it? Okay. Thank goodness. That means that's probably going to be some good comments there. I can't read you when it comes to that. Like, you would still smile at me if you hated me. You still would smile at least.
No, if I hated something, I would come to you and say it. I don't keep stuff in.
I love it. Your question. The SOS? So the SOS, in case if you did not check your school email, most likely it was sent to your school email. But if you don't find it, is on the left-hand side of the Canvas course, and you see SOS doing an opinion survey. When you click on that, you should see it for all of your classes. You just click on the class and do it. You're going to just incorporate it into it. And the question becomes, it's going to be the same a-hole in college algebra. And do we heed the words of doing the review for the final exam in Pearson? Okay. I would tell you to try to at least do chapter 4 stuff, because that would be good review for exam 4 anyways. So it'd be good practice for that. At least those questions will be done, and then start doing. And if you want to wait until after exam 4 and start saying, so this is why we recommend, right? So let me see here. Let me do this. Do we know when the last day of school is? Yep, the 22nd. You're absolutely correct. So April 22nd. So this is what I would do, right? Where's my calendar? So our exam is here. Ooh, maybe you don't want to wait to that, right? Our exam is here. And then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days to try to get 70 questions done. So you might not want to wait, right? So if you start today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 70 divided by 14 is a lot smaller of a number. Does that make sense? What's 70 divided by 14? 5. Is that about right? So if you started today and did 5 questions every single day, right? By the last day, you're only going to have 5 questions left. Does that make sense? So to me, I think that as long as you do some problems, it makes it easier. Now, if you want to wait until after exam 4, realize that you only have 5 days left. And 70 divided by 5 is something like that, like about 14. So if you want to do 14 problems every day, that's certainly fine. But again, I just don't want you guys to sit there and going, what? This assignment has 70 questions? Holy crap. Right? That's why I want to make sure that you don't do. Okay? And that is also linked. I know this is not your class, but if you guys go to, it is linked there. Right? Just so you guys know. And then your final exam days are there as well. You guys see that? Right? Yours is on April 28th from 12 to 1:50. Cool? All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please have a wonderful, blessed weekend. Please be safe. Love you guys. See you guys on Monday. Later.